Hello and welcome. It's August 1st, 2022. It's 9:30 in the morning. It's 77 degrees and cloudy here at Site B. It's my birthday week. So you've all got to get me presents, and the only present I want is for you to subscribe to my vlog so I hit 1,000 subs. Remember, if I hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year, I'll adopt a dog. And speaking of free things that may or may not be dogs... Yeah, that was a stretch. It's time for bundles. Dun, 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 dun. Bundles. It's time for a list of all the tabletop role-playing game freebies, bundles, and sale news. Remember again that these are all PDFs, unless I specifically say otherwise. And as such, since they're PDFs, if you're going to download them, check them for viruses. In regards to bundles that support charities, we've gone over this before. Generally, I think if there's a charity you want to support, I think you should just support the charity directly and not work through a third party. Same with an artist. If there's a product an artist has, purchase it directly from the artist. Again, don't purchase it through the bundle because you never know how long or if the artist is going to take it. And just generally, especially with a charity, just give the money directly. If you're pro Pineapple Pizza, give the money to the pro Pineapple Pizza charity, and if you're against Pineapple Pizza, then give the money to the against Pineapple Pizza charity. But that said, here's all the bundles. If any of these sound interesting to you, remember to tell them the OGGM sent you. Freebies! Steve Jackson Games has released a PDF of the RPG The Fantasy Trip for free. This contains the basic combat system for the Fantasy Trip, but no magic stuff. Modiphius has released a collection of Star Trek adventures, 10 short adventures so far. That's available on the Modiphius website and drive-thru. The Fantasy Trip Melee is available on drive-thru. There is a one-page adventure called Ice Imp by Richard Davis. This is available for 5e, Pathfinder, and Pathfinder 2nd Edition. It is over on drive-thru. We have a Call of Cthulhu adventure from Laurie Hedge. It's called A Small Tremor in the Mountains. It's a Call of Cthulhu adventure for free, and you can get that on drive-thru. Terry Hick has brought us another random tables. We have 1d100 random dungeons and treasures, a system-neutral random table for generating what you might find in a dragon's lair, and this is on drive-thru. Over in DM's Guild, we have a From Big Beast paper, a report on magical displacement. This is from Mika Muldowney, and it's some stuff about spells that this guy claims Bigby wrote, and that's available on DM's Guild. There is some math combat rules that have been made available for D&D. John Riley has released Battle for Shallow Mountain, which is a D&D adventure, but it has some mass combat rules and miniature rules. And that is available on Dungeon Masters Guild. We have from Joshua Nagel, The Mystery of Stargazer Tower. This seems to be a 5e adventure. That's available on DM's Guild. There's an anthology up on Roll20 already for Journey Through the Radiant Citadel. The bundle includes 13 adventures for Roll20, as well as some other stuff, including the stat blocks. Because remember, one of the many complaints about Radiant Citadel was there's no stat blocks for the bad guys. But how are you going to put a bad guy or NPC with no stat blocks into Roll20? That has to have some type of something. So they have added stat blocks that weren't there. Whether Wizards of the Coast put these stat blocks in after all the complaints, or Roll20 just took the initiative to put the stat blocks in. This is available. It's $30 to get Journey Through the Radiant Citadel for Roll20. Also, Call of Cthulhu has a bundle up on Roll20 for $85. It includes everything you would need to get started using Roll20 to run Call of Cthulhu adventures. And we have a Cthulhu bundle also, which has a collection of maps that can be used for any virtual tabletop. and that is available on drive-thru. It's from Penguin Comics. Penguin Comics and Cthulhu are just two words that don't go together. I mean, maybe, I guess, considering what people have discovered about the way penguins actually mate, maybe they are a little bit more Lovecraftian than we ever thought. Apparently, they're not as cute as you think they are. But anyways, we've got a bundle of maps, and that's $6. Over on DM's Guild, we have some stuff from Volo. It's 2 books of shops. Yes, because apparently people think that's the direction D&D wants to go, where people are just role-playing characters who work in a store. Because, yeah, that's what I want to role-play on my 3 hours a week that I get to game. I want to play myself working at Target. Yeah, that's the thing I really want to role-play. I don't know why people think this is a thing. Why Wizards of the Coast and other creators are under the impression that players want to role-play being employees. If you want to find out what it's like to be an employee at Starbucks, go apply for a job at Starbucks and see how much fucking fun it is. Anyways, this collection of shops is available on DM's Guild for $30. Time for charities. Bundle of Holding has a charity for some for some Megadungeon stuff. We have the Halls of Ardenvol. This bundle features the complete Megadungeon for use with Dungeons & Dragons. I have heard a lot of good things about Ardenvol as a Megadungeon. A lot of people told me it's really good. So $25 gets you the entire Megadungeon PDF bundle of Holding. That might be worth it if you're into Megadungeons. I think, you know, as D&D is being played at stores again now and people are getting out of the house again, and we're going to start running into the same problems we were running into a few years ago with people not being able to commit, especially if you're running at a store, in a public place, you know, or even in your home. And like every week, you can't guarantee all 6 players. I think, you know, westmarch style adventures are going to become popular again, like Mega Dungeons and City Crawls and Hex Crawls, because they just allow you to have multiple characters playing, you know, and multiple adventures at the same time, where maybe a module doesn't and a linear campaign doesn't. And I think, you know, westmarch style stuff like Mega Dungeons are more able to deal with a situation where, like, you know, we talked about earlier this week, a guy didn't want to run even though he had 2 people there. He knew ahead of time that 2 of his players weren't showing up, and he still was like, oh, have everybody show up. And then, oh, no, fuck you. I don't feel like running. And I was, you know, I'd be like, dude, there's 2 people there. Run something. But westmarch style. Just, you know, you have them make new characters. So, yes, I'm very excited. I think this is, you know, for physical play, westmarch style, Mega Dungeons, City Crawls, Hex Crawls are the way to do it. Legendary Games has a bundle of epic monsters for 5e. This is $13. It is over on Bundle of Holding. Do you really need epic monsters for 5e? I mean, you know, when a bunch of 8th level characters, I know for a fact, a bunch of 8th level characters can kill Jubilex in like 2 rounds. So do you really need 20th level monsters? Are they going to be that any tougher? I mean, if an 8th level character can take out Jubilex, a 20th level character is going to be able to take out anything you think of for 5e. Unless you just make a ridiculous hit point / armor class sync, which then is just sort of pointless. So I really don't see the need for legendary monsters. Eclipse Phase 2nd Edition has a bundle up. That's over at Bundle of Holding. It concludes everything you need to start a Eclipse Phase campaign. It's $15 for all the PDFs you need for Eclipse Phase. We have a Star Trek bundle over at Humble Bumble, featuring a vast library of books from Odysseus for the 2D20 Star Trek adventure, including the 2D20 SRD, $20. And that gets you that goes to support the National Park Rescue, which is where I would say, you know what, if you want to support national parks, just give the money directly to the national parks, unless you need PDFs of everything that Modiphius has made for 2D20 Star Trek. There's a Shadowrun 6th World bundle over at Humble Bundle. So this includes everything you would need to start a Shadowrun 6 world adventure in PDFs, and it's running $18. And this goes to support food banks in the area. There's an RPG Maker Resurrection bundle available over at Humble Bundle. If you ever were curious in the RPG video game creation program called RPG Maker, you can get it now for $15, and that goes to support Able Gamers. Able Gamers, of course, is a charity that develops role-playing add-ons for individuals who might have special needs so they can play both physical and video games. So that's definitely a charity I would support. But again, I would just give Able Gamers $25 unless I really, really wanted RPG Maker. I'm excited to get the Fantasy Trip Melee for free. I'll definitely pick that up. There was another one that sounded interesting. Oh, yeah, the Arden Vol Megadungeon bundle. I might pick that one up, too. $25 is a little pricey, but I think, considering the whole entire Arden Vol on normal is like almost $100, so I guess it's pretty decent. Yeah, so if any of those sound like a PDF you want to pick up, let them know you were sent there by the OGGM and pick them up. But of course, as always, since these are all PDFs, check them for viruses. And really, if there's if you are pro Pineapple on Pizza, just directly support that charity. And if you're anti Pineapple on Pizza, directly support that charity instead of buying the bundle, unless you really, really need to have all 200 Modifius 2D20 products. Till next time, I'm the OGGM. Talk to you.